Today, we have an opportunity to listen to the lecture that has to do with how we manage our time. Time management is very, very important. Time management will give you access to own your life and possibly achieve something worthwhile. Managing your time has to do with being effective, at the same time being efficient. Ability to be able to control your time matters a lot. And that takes us to the topic of today, which is 80-20 leadership principle. 80-20 leadership principle. 80-20 leadership principles has to do with 80% of inputs yielding 20% of outputs. Many leaders, or some leaders, do not specialize. What they do is that they have a lot of projects, a lot of activities that amounts to 80% of their time, and the result they are getting is just 20%. Likewise, we have some leaders. The inputs, what they put into their time on daily basis is just 20%. And the output is 80% results. And this principle, 80-20 leadership principle, was coined out by Pareto. 20% of the inputs. When you talk about the inputs, we are looking at time, resources, efforts, which account for 80% of the output results. That is the reward. As students, we need to look at what we put into our career, what we put into what we are doing in order to generate the expected results. 80-20 principles, also known as the Pareto Principle, is a concept that suggests that roughly 80% of the results or outcomes comes from 20% of the causes or inputs. This principle is named after Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, who observed in the earlier 20th century that approximately 80% of the land is owned or was owned by 20% of the population. And we see that the Pareto Principle, or the rule 80-20 rule, focus on the 20% that matters. All of the things you do during your day, only 20% really matter. Look at the time you stay in the class. If you are not careful, you will discover that you waste 80% of the time and concentrate your efforts within 20%. And if within the 20% of the effort or the attention you are giving into the lecture, if what were mentioned around that time will not come out in the exam, then you miss out. And that means maybe you've been concentrating for 80% of the time, and the 20% of the time wasted. Those 20% produce 80% of your result. What are you supposed to do? You are to identify 20% of what matters in the class. You are to understand and you are to focus on the 20% of what matters in the class, so that you'll be able to get 80% of the mark. One of the key concepts of 80-20 principle rule is number one, prioritization. You prioritize. Prioritization. You prioritize, that is, you identify the 20% of tasks and or activities that will yield 80% of the desired results, and prioritize those tasks in your leadership role, in your academic role. You focus on what matters most. Number two, time allocation. Time allocation. You allocate a significant portion of your time, approximately 80%, to the most important leadership task, to the most important career task, to the most important things that are necessary in your academics, and most important decisions that drive most of your dreams' success. You need to wake up each day to ask yourself, what are the 20% tasks I need to complete today that will give me 80% results? You just prioritize and face that. Number three, delegation. You delegate less critical tasks to team members while reserving your valuable time for high-impact leadership activities. Most students in 100 level, or those that are just getting into workplace, because they are in the new environments, they don't ask questions. And most times, they do all the tasks because they feel that they are very wise. If you know that doing your laundry will waste your time, you make sure that you give your laundry to someone to help you manage it. Here in Abuad, we have some students that will not even visit cafeteria. They will stay in their room. When someone wants to go and buy food, please, excuse me, can you help me buy this food? And in the process, that person will be able to follow or assist. What they do most times is to prioritize. What they do most times is to delegate some of the things they need to do on their own they delegate these activities to others. Some people will, instead of collecting the money they need, just once in a week, they keep spending 30 minutes at the ATM stand every day. If you spend even 10 minutes, that means within the week, you are spending 1 hour, 10 minutes. Can you account for that? That will not affect your success at all. That is, will not give you inputs, will not result, no output whatsoever for that. And many people, when they want to wash their clothes, they do it in the morning time. That's very wrong. In the morning time, your energy is at the peak. That's the time to reach the most important aspect. Some people will wake up very early in the morning to check WhatsApp messages. That is not the right time. When you wake up in the morning, the best thing is to look at the most critical thing that you need to learn, the concept that you find difficult to learn. You face that. Then later, you can look at your WhatsApp or whatever when you are tired, except if you are looking for an important information. We see the next, number 4, team productivity. Identify the top performing 20% of your team members who contribute the most to the team's success. Invest time and resources in their growth and development. For those people that want to submit their assignments, when more than 70% of the class have submitted, nobody has time for such people. For people who will not look at the major WhatsApp, the class WhatsApp, to see if assignment is there. If we have notices there, they'll be checking the WhatsApp of their mates in some other universities, while some will be holding TikTok, some will be doing some other things. You need to be very careful with that kind of activities. And when you have team of 5, you need to identify the people that will do that are most active there. 3 of you, 4 of you, out of 10, you sit down to do the most critical aspect of the job. Team productivity. Concentrate on the top performing 20% of your team. Then problem solving. Number 5 is problem solving. When addressing leadership challenges or career challenges, concentrate your efforts on the 20% of issues that have the potential to resolve 80% of the problems or conflicts within your organization. 20% of the issues that have the potential to resolve 80% of the problems or conflicts within your organization. So when you want to solve problems, for example, you have a lot of courses you are doing, you look at the one that looks very difficult. You concentrate your time, the most valuable time, to those ones that are critical. Then the next time, those ones that are less that are not as challenging as the other one. For example, you left secondary school in physics, you had credits. In chemistry, you have credit. In biology, you have credit. And you find yourself in medicine and health science courses. What are you supposed to do? You have to concentrate your time to those courses. Also, you also look at the units of your course. If you have 4-unit course, 3-unit course, you concentrate your valuable time to those ones. But you make sure you don't mix the classes of maybe 1 unit, 2 units. But when it comes to reading, when it comes to paying serious attention, you concentrate your efforts to those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 unit courses. Number 6, communication. Focus your communication efforts on the 20% messages and information that have the greatest impact and that can actually resolve 80% of the issues around you. We look at feedback and recognition. Feedback and recognition. Provide feedback and recognition to the 20% of team members who consistently excel, as they often drive this proportionate number of positive results. I was in a particular school, a secondary school, and the proprietor just said, and what I'm going to, I said, how do you manage this? He said, what I told my teachers is that they should concentrate, just pick 5% of the class. Teach them very well. Let them know everything. Pay attention to them. Use them for competitions. Use them for quizzes and everything. Make sure you spend more time with them, so that these are the people that will represent the school. And when they represent the school, parents will see them as role model, and eventually it will bring more students to the school. But if you concentrate your efforts on all the people, you will not be able to achieve good results. But you know, with the advent of digital technology, there's a way you can concentrate your efforts on all the students within the class. But at the same time too, there was also a marketer, somebody selling. He said you don't need to be selling to 1,000 people in the town. You don't need to target 300 people in the town. You just target 5 customers. Just 5 customers who can give you your target. For example, if your target is 5 billion, you target 5 customers that will give you 1 billion naira each. If your target is 5 million, target 5 customers that will give you 1 million naira each. Stop running around the town looking for 20,000, and your target is 1 billion or 1 million naira. And that's very, very important for you. As a student, you want to get the best, target, look at the courses that will give you the best units, and look at the time of the day that is most suitable for you. Look at the 20% of your friends that will give you the best, that give you 80% of results in your career. And when you do this, you are able to forge ahead better than other people around you. So provide feedback and recognition to 20% of team members who consistently excel. You have 10 friends, cut them to 2. Make sure you have just 2 that will give you the best. You know, many of you don't know why. When we talk about group discussion, we are talking about 2, 3, 4. Look at the world. Look at achievers. They don't have too many friends. 2, 3, 4. Daniel, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, 4. At times, we have Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, 3. We have Mary and Joseph. And that's why even family. Why is it that God did not plan the family for 2 female, 2 males? It's aberration for you to have 1 man, 3 wives, or 1 woman, 4 husbands. What is important is 1 man, 1 woman, and that is the way God planned the whole thing. So 2 of them, they were able to work together. So if you are looking for a partner, you look for a partner that will give you the best, that will make you to have the right focus and make you to get the right, a challenging opportunity that will give you the best result. Time management. Time management. Apply the 80-20 principle to your daily schedule by identifying the most important tasks and tackling them first, ensuring that you allocate your time effectively. The most challenging tasks, attack them first. If there is a course that's very difficult, plan to see the lecturer in charge. At the time you know that you'll be able to meet him and talk to him, not when you are tired and not when the person is tired. Decision making. When making important decisions, consider the few critical factors, the 20% that will have the most significant influence on the outcome. And now we also have strategic planning. Strategic planning. When developing long-term strategies, focus on the critical few initiatives or goals that is 20% that will bring about most of the organization's success rather than spreading resources too thinly. You are a student here. Ask from those people that have first class. The first class, the second class upper. Take them to ask questions from them. What are the things I can do? The 20% I can contribute that will give me the best results. Under strategic planning, you clarify your vision, your objectives or goal. You clarify your vision, objective or goal. You understand your path to competency. Understand your path to competency. What are the things you can do to actually show that you are competent? The first one is clarify your objective. The second thing is look at your competence. Competence, what are the things that actually make you, or people can say, yes, she's competent. Number 3, you concentrate on what matters most. Concentrate on what matters most. And lastly, block all constraints. Block all constraints. Look up everyone. If you notice any friend that anytime you move with the person you are always sad, you need to block the number of that person from your phone and delete it. If possible, put disturbance as the name of that person. When you see it, you don't pick. You discover that as I'm talking to you now, I have to block my phone. Because last week as I was speaking to you, somebody just called in and that disrupts what I was trying to talk about. It was a great interruption. Today, I just decided to put everything on dead silence. So if you want to achieve the best, you need to make sure that you spend time, your 20% time that will give you 80% results. We also look at study techniques. Study techniques. Concentrate on the 20% of the study methods that are the most effective for your learning style. Avoid wasting time on less productive methods. What are the methods that you think will give you the best thing? Don't copy your friends. If you are twin here, you don't copy your twin sister. Don't copy your twin brother. Don't copy your younger brother. And don't copy your elder sister or your elder brother. Work to achieve your goal yourself. Your study techniques matter. Study the one that is best for you. We have talked about productivity. Then we also look at personal life. In your personal life as a leader, you might find that a small percentage of your relationships, activities, or possessions bring you the most happiness and fulfillment. The 80-20 principle encourages you to prioritize what matters to you most. We also look at continuous learning. Recognize that lifelong learning is crucial in any career. Focus on acquiring the 20% of knowledge and skills that will have the most impact on your professional development, and the one that will make you stay updated in those areas. All of you need to make use of technology to enhance your career and your success. If you are not making use of technology, or if technologies you are making use of, they are wasting your time, you need to delete those technology from your smartphone. You think you are the only one that is being disturbed by all this social media. Adults do too. At times I remove Facebook from my phone. At times I remove TikTok from my phone. At times I just do away with certain things because of what I want to achieve. If you really want to be successful as a leader, you want to use your 24 hours in the 7 day 247, you want to use it successfully, you need to look at things that are disturbing you and get away from them. Course selection. Determine which course or subject are most aligned with your career and allocate more of your academic efforts to those areas. Now that takes us to emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? ER. Emotional intelligence comprises several interconnected components that collectively contribute to an individual ability to understand and manage emotions, both in themselves and in others. Emotional intelligence. These components form the foundation of emotional intelligence and play a critical role in effective leadership. The primary component of emotional intelligence includes number 1, recognizing the vital few. I'm going to tell you a story. In a Boston technology company, Aminu faced a challenging leadership role. He was tasked with leading a team of highly skilled software developers, and the pressure to meet deadline and deliver quality products was immense. Aminu, an experienced leader, knew what he needed to do. He knew that he needs to use a good strategy to optimize his team productivity and ensure they achieve exceptional results. he turned to the 80-20 leadership principle for guidance. Aminu began his journey by analyzing his team's workload and projects. He soon realized that not all tasks were created equal. Some tasks were mission critical, while others were important but not as impactful. He decided to make use of 80-20 principle. He identified the vital 20% of the tasks that will yield 80% of the results his team needed to achieve. These vital few tasks included refining the core software features, addressing the most critical bugs, and streamlining the development process. Aminu recognized that by focusing on these key areas, his teams could significantly enhance the product quality and meet deadlines more effectively. With a clear understanding of the vital few tasks, Aminu decided to delegate responsibilities within his team. He assigned the most experienced developers to work on the critical features and gave them the autonomy to make decisions and set priorities. This approach allowed his team members to make ownership of their work and leverage their expertise. Aminu also encouraged open communication within the team, emphasizing the importance of sharing insights and challenges. This helped ensure that everything was aligned within the 18-20 vision and could make informed decisions for their roles. Monitoring the progress and adaptation. As the team began to focus on the vital few tasks, Aminu closely monitored their progress. He utilized key performing indicators, KPIs, to track the impact of their efforts. It became clear that the team's productivity and product quality were improving significantly. However, Aminu knew that 80-20 principle wasn't static. He periodically revisited the task list and adapted it to reflecting changing priorities and challenges. This flexibility allowed the teams to renew their agile, and they were very responsive in a dynamic work environment. As the project neared completion, Aminu's team had exceeded expectations. They had not only met their deadlines, but also delivered a product of exceptional quality. Aminu knew it was time to celebrate their success. He organized a team celebration, acknowledging each team member's contributions and dedication to 80-20 vision. This recognition boosted team morale and reinforced the importance of focusing on the vital few tasks to achieve remarkable results. In the end, Aminu leadership journey with 80-20 principle had transformed his team's performance and strengthened their cohesion. By identifying the vital few tasks, delegating effectively, monitoring progress, and adapting as needed, Aminu had not only met his leadership goals, but had also inspired his team to become more efficient and productive. The 80-20 leadership principle has proven to be a powerful tool in his leadership toolkit, one that he will continue to employ to lead his team to even greater heights in the future. What are we talking about? That's a story of how Aminu used the 80-20 principle back to our emotional intelligence in leadership. Like I said, leadership emotional intelligence or emotional intelligence in leadership, often referred to as emotional intelligence in leadership, is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and effectively use emotions in oneself and interaction with others in a leadership context. Let me repeat. When you have emotional intelligence, you are able to recognize, that's one, understand, manage, and use your emotions to get desired results. Number one aspect of emotional intelligence is motivation. Motivation is a fundamental component of emotional intelligence that plays a crucial role in a leadership's ability to understand and manage emotions, both in themselves and in others. Motivation in the context of emotional intelligence is closely tied to a leadership drive, resilience, and ability to inspire and influence your team. Here's an explanation of how motivation is a key concept within emotional intelligence. Number one, when you are talking about emotion, when you are talking about motivating yourself or motivating the people around you, number one thing you need to consider is intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. The ability to recognize and understand what actually will make you, will bring out your interest as far as what you are doing is concerned. If there's anything you need to do, you need to create the vision of tomorrow and put it in your room. You create the mission of tomorrow and carry it every day as you come to the class. Number two, self-motivation and self-management. I'm still talking about motivation. The capacity to set and pursue meaningful goals with determination and resilience is very, very important. Then three, motivation for positive leadership impact. Motivated by a desire to create positive impact on yourself and your team and the organization. Number two, the key aspect of leadership emotional intelligence, self-awareness. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It involves the ability to recognize and understand your emotion, your strengths. You need to know your strengths. Some people are morning people. That is, in the morning, you are active. Some people, they are afternoon people. In the afternoon, you are very active. In the evening, where some people can stay awake all night and still be active in the morning. Know your strength. Know your weakness, your value, and your belief. Leaders with high self-awareness have a clear understanding of how their emotions impact their behavior and decision-making. Also have a deep understanding of your emotions, the strength and everything you have. Your strength, your weakness, and some other things you know about yourself are the assets you can use to choose the best leadership style that will give you the desired results. Number three, self-regulation, also known as emotional self-control, refers to the ability to manage and regulate your emotions, your impulse. That is what makes you unhappy, what makes you happy. You need to be able to regulate that. Somebody just tell you, I've seen your test, I've seen the assignment. What is called? I can't tell you. Please tell me. If I tell you, for the rest of the day you'll be unhappy. He said, just tell me. I regret to tell you that I'm so sorry. You scored 3/20. Immediately some people will break down. Self-regulation. We have two people in one of the universities in Nigeria. Of course, you are very young now. But this set of people, they already finished their first degree. But something happened. Something tragic happened to them. And they both lose their husband. The husband died suddenly. One of them was weeping every day, mourning the death of the husband, and from there she could not recover. She continued mourning 1 week, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and eventually became sick and passed on. The other, what she did at that time was to pick up a form, a master's degree form, and decides to study again. And before you know it, he was able to bounce back. Now, for some of you, as you age, as you continue in your journey, in this career journey, there are times you pass very well. But at another time, if you discover that your result is maybe dwindling, you must not just go and bury yourself somewhere. Someone rightly said, they show me a failure, or show me someone that has failed completely, said, I will refer you to the grave. Those people that are dead, they are the ones that have failed. If you are alive, you have not failed. You can bounce back. You can walk back. You can get the best. We have seen people that failed several times and later they were successful. About Einstein, we learned that he not only did the experiment 99 times, more than 1,000 times. Abraham Lincoln was always contesting. For 21 times he failed and later became the president. Failure is not a disease. You need to self-regulate yourself to handle failure and success so that you are able to remain calm when there is a challenging situation. You control your emotion, your reaction, and you make valuable decisions based on reasons rather than emotion. Effective leaders with high emotional intelligence manage their emotions and impulses, especially in high stress situations. They maintain composure and don't let their emotions dictate their actions. We also have another one, which is empathy. Empathy is the capacity to understand and share feelings and perspectives of others. Leaders with empathy can tune into the emotions of their team members, colleagues, and stakeholders, fostering better communication, collaboration, and trust within the organization. Leaders with strong emotional intelligence can understand the emotions and perspectives of their team members. This enables them to connect on a personal level, to demonstrate empathy and build trust within their team. All of you are from different families. Now your fingers can never be equal because you have the fingers, as you can see, have their roles and responsibilities in picking things or in activities. So your empathy is important. You have feelings for others. You think, you put yourself in their shoes. You don't just sympathize, you empathize. You also have social awareness. This involves the ability to perceive and comprehend the emotional dynamics of a group or organization. You study your environment, you look at what is happening there, the do's and don'ts, and you key in to the aspect that fits in to your leadership style and the theory which you adopt. Emotional intelligence leaders are attuned to the emotions of their teams and can accurately gauge the collective mood, allowing them to make informed decisions and address issues. The key aspects of leadership emotion: relationship management. Relationship management. Relationship management is the combination of other components of emotional intelligence. It encourages the skill of effectively managing people, the interrelationship, and the people around you, including building support, rapport, resolving issues, inspiring people, and influencing others. Leaders with strong relationship management skills will excel and will be the best in a positive work environment and will also drive success. Let me end by telling you this story. This story, one of my lecturers related this story to me when I was during my undergraduate days. Now, something happened in one of the countries where we have the greatest footballer. The house was burning, and the woman was with the only child, maybe on the 10th floor, and people gathered around the place. They were watching what will happen, and somebody suggested, let's look for somebody who will be able to pick this baby. If we ask the person there to throw the baby, and this person will look for somebody who will pick the baby, and lo and behold, they went and called one of the best goalkeeper around, and as the goalkeeper was coming, people were hailing him, and you know that naturally everyone believed that a goalkeeper will be able to catch the ball. But this time around, it's a baby. And the people were chanting, the keeper, the keeper, the keeper. Lo and behold, yes, the goalkeeper is ready, you can throw the baby. And they said, okay. They now throw the baby. Lo and behold, the goalkeeper was right. He was able to catch the baby. But something happened. As a goalkeeper, he did not control his emotions. He thought he was holding ball. He banged the ball. And you can see what emotion can cause. Thank you for listening.